The junkyard on Taraxis. 12 wasn't much to look at. Just a floating graveyard of metal, dead freighters, shredded satellites, twisted engines. For most, it was a wasteland. For Jalen Cross, it was home. He'd been living hand-to-mouth there for 2 years, scavenging whatever the orbital miners threw away. His ship was barely a ship. Half a hull bolted to his shuttle engine, a tin coffin he called the Sparrow. His only companion was his ancient droid, Kip, who stuttered whenever he tried to speak in full sentences. Jalen had just $1 left in his trade account, barely enough to buy a ration cube. But that morning, while sorting through the day's wreck arrivals, he spotted something that made his gut tighten with curiosity. A sealed freight container, matte black, no registry number, half buried in the dust of the yard. The tag said, Lot 773, unknown origin decommissioned cryo storage unit. Value, 1 credit. 1 credit, $1. Jalen frowned. Looks military. Kip's single optic blinked amber. Probability of profit, 0.06%. Yeah, Jalen muttered. And probability of adventure, 99. He thumbed his wrist pad and transferred his last dollar. The crane dropped the container onto the Sparrow's deck with a metallic clang. 1. The cargo bay was cold when he cracked the seal. A hiss of ancient air spilled out, carrying the scent of ozone and decay. The interior lights flickered weakly, revealing 6 glass pods arranged in a crescent. Inside each pod lay a woman, tall, graceful, with luminous skin that shimmered faintly beneath the frost. Their features were alien yet hauntingly human. Delicate cheekbones, ridged temples, faint lines of light running beneath their skin like veins of silver. Holy stars, Jalen whispered. Kip scanned the pods. Warning, biosigns detected. Suspended animation integrity compromised. Compromised how? Power failing. Almost as if an answer, one of the pods beeped, a high, desperate tone. Its lights flickered red. Jalen panicked. No, no, no. Don't you die on me now. He ran cables from the Sparrow's generator, connecting them to the pod's external port. Sparks flew, but the power stabilized. The woman inside stirred. Frost began to melt from her hair. Her eyes, silver and bright as mercury, fluttered open. She looked at him through the glass and whispered a single word. Enemy. Then alarm screamed. 2. The pod cracked open with a rush of steam. The woman fell forward, landing in his arms, weak but alive. Her body was cold to the touch, her skin marked with faint sigils that pulsed like circuitry. Easy, Jalen said. You're safe. Her eyes darted around the cargo bay, then back to him. This is not my world. Yeah, you're on Taraxis. 12. Mining moon. Been out of service for decades, maybe centuries. Were you? She tried to stand, wavering. We are the Varen Ascendants. Our ship fell before the Great Silence. He frowned. Never heard of that. Her expression hardened. You wouldn't. Your kind caused it. Before he could reply, the remaining 5 pods began to flicker, their systems reawakening. Kip beat frantically, power drain exceeding capacity. The ship's lights dimmed as more pods opened, releasing clouds of vapor. 5 more Varen women stepped out, each wearing fragments of ornate armor, their eyes filled with confusion and fear. The first, clearly the leader, raised her hand. He is a human? Jalen swallowed. Yeah, the one who woke you. She stared at him, her voice low and cold. Then he has woken ghosts. His blood carries the mark of the one who destroyed our son. 3. Jalen backed away slowly. Okay, hold on. I just found your container in a junkyard. I didn't destroy anyone's son. The leader stepped closer, tilting her head. You bear his scent, his genome. You are of him. Who? The terraformer. The human who unleashed the singularity bomb that consumed Varen Prime. Jalen froze. His grandfather had been part of the Colonial Expansion Corps, a military outfit infamous for its violent planet reclamations. He'd always brushed off the rumors. Apparently, they were true. Kip's voice trembled. Records confirm. Human fleet engagement with Varen system, year 2483. Civilian casualties, entire population. Jalen whispered, stars above. The women looked at one another, the air thick with tension. The leader, Saris, as she introduced herself, finally spoke. You are not him, but you carry his legacy. Another, younger one, Lyra, touched Jalen's face curiously. He doesn't look like a destroyer. Saris's eyes narrowed. Even soft hands can pull a trigger. For the next few days, Jalen sheltered them aboard the Sparrow, hiding from the patrol drones that circled Taraxis, 12. The Varen refused to return to cryosleep, insisting their time had passed. They explored the ship like ghosts rediscovering a forgotten world. Despite the tension, curiosity grew between them and Jalen. He learned that the Varen were once genetic architects, their beauty a byproduct of precision bioengineering. They had designed themselves to be immune to disease, age, and fear. But when humanity expanded into their sector, the Varen resisted and were annihilated. Lyra, the youngest, spent hours watching stars from the viewport. "We thought our beauty would make us safe," she said quietly. But humans only saw resources. Jalen didn't know what to say. He wasn't a soldier, just a scavenger, but their eyes made him feel the weight of generations. Still, he couldn't shake the mystery. Who had sealed in the container, and why had it been abandoned for $1? Then one night, the answer came, violently. 5. The Sparrow's proximity alarm screamed. A sleek black frigate dropped out of warp, bearing the insignia of the Helios Corporation, one of Earth's oldest megacorps. Ceres hissed, "They've come for us." The ship's comm crackled. "Unregistered vessel, Sparrow. You are harboring restricted biological assets. Prepare for boarding." Jalen's heart pounded. "Assets? You mean them?" Lyra's voice trembled. "They built the weapon that destroyed us. They'll never let us live." Kip beeped in panic. "Probability of survival minimal." Jalen ran to the controls. "Hold on tight." He fired the engines, shooting the ship into the debris field surrounding the junkyard. Laser fire lanced past them, scattering shards of metal into space. The Sparrow shuddered violently, alarms blaring. Ceres gripped the wall, eyes glowing fiercely. "Get us close to their hull." "What?" "I can disable their weapons." She pressed her crystalline palms to the viewport. Light burst from her skin, connecting with the enemy ship like lightning. Circuits sizzled. The frigate's cannons went dead. Jalen stared in awe. What did you just do?" "Varen biocode," she said, breathless. "We once shaped machines as easily as flesh." The Helios ship drifted powerless. Jalen pushed the Sparrow toward open space. "Hang on, we're not done yet." 6. They escaped to a derelict mining station orbiting the nearby moon. There, Jalen finally confronted the truth. Helios wanted the Varen back, not because they feared them, but because their DNA was the key to immortality. The corporation had secretly funded the ancient war, capturing and freezing the last survivors as living patents. The container Jalen bought for $1 was supposed to be destroyed centuries ago. "You bought our prison," Sarah said softly, "and turned it into freedom." Jalen met her gaze. "No, you freed yourselves." Lyra smiled faintly. "Humans destroy, but humans also restore. Perhaps both are true." Before he could reply, Kip's sensor chimed. "Incoming transmission. Helios fleet, multiple vessels." Jalen groaned. "Of course." Ceres turned to him. "Go. Leave us here." "No," he tightened his jaw. "If they catch you again, it's over. We end this together." 7. The Helios fleet arrived within the hour. Jalen and the Varen stood at the control deck, watching their doom approach. "Options?" he asked. "Fight," Sarah said simply. "Not with weapons, but with truth." She pressed her hands to the station's reactor core, her bioluminescent veins pulsing brighter. "We'll broadcast what they did. Every memory, every experiment, every death. The galaxy will see." Jalen watched as images filled the holographic displays. Scenes of the old war, the destruction of Varen Prime, the factories that turned corpses into patents. When the Helios ships opened fire, the transmission had already spread across the sector. Billions of systems received the truth. The corporation ships halted, their command channels flooded with the revelation. Ceres collapsed, exhausted. "It is done." Jalen caught her before she fell. "You saved more than yourselves." She smiled faintly. "No, you did." 8. Months later, Helios was dismantled on the Galactic Tribunal. The Varen were granted refugee status, a people reborn from extinction. Jalen's name became legend. The scavenger who bought freedom for $1. He stayed with them for a while, helping them build a settlement on a quiet moon far from the trade routes. There, amid blue fields and silver skies, the 6 women began a new civilization. On his last night before leaving, Ceres met him at the landing pad. "You could stay," she said softly. "You belong among those who create, not destroy." He smiled. "Maybe, but someone's got to keep finding the things people throw away." She stepped closer and placed a glowing hand on his chest. "Then remember, sometimes the smallest act changes the stars." Jalen nodded. $1 well spent. The Sparrow lifted off, engines flaring against the dawn. As he looked back, the new Varan city shimmered below. Light reborn from darkness, beauty surviving against all odds. And somewhere deep in space, a single line of his ship's log recorded it all.